Hi folks, Ron Bishop here again from Timaru, New Zealand. Yes, I'm back on my hobby horse. This time I'm talking about discipline. Gee, I hate people that are not disciplined. I don't know about you, but I was brought up in a time where if you did something wrong, the old man would boot you up the backside or clip you around the ears. But you knew you knew where you stood, and you did as you were told because you knew that the old man was the boss. At school, I used to get the strap. Hold your hand out, and they hit you with a hard piece of leather. And in high school, they would make you bend over, and they'd belt you with a piece of cane. Give you the cane. And when you went to work, if you didn't do your work properly, you got the sack. And that's the way it was in those days. Young people are not brought up that way today. You can't hit kids. They can't. If they do something wrong at work, they can take you to sue you, take you to court. No smack, no strap, and no sack. It's called. I've had 4 years of experience in this employment law thing. Because I sacked a woman. I gave her a job because she was unemployed, and I felt sorry for her, so I gave her a job. She didn't tell me that she had assaulted a workmate and got the sack for assaulting a workmate. She didn't tell me that the reference she gave me was a fake because she got it after she'd hit the person and got the sack. Yes, she deceived me. Real bad. Now, I didn't know she was going to thieve stuff from my office and take it home. I didn't know she was going to go into a stationery office and book stuff up in my name without my authority. I didn't know that she was going to abuse me using the F word in my office. I didn't know that she would use physical aggression. She would swish all the stuff off my desk onto the floor. I didn't know she was going to slander my name and tell everybody around town that I had some sort of a mental illness. I didn't know that. But I do now. And I want to tell you now what some of the businesses that helped along the way. Some of the things that these organisations did is terrible. One stationery retailer, her son, went in and booked stuff up in our name. Went up envelopes, stamps and envelopes, booked them up in our business name. When this lady left us, we sacked her, she kept the office keys, wouldn't give them back. There's a bank in Timaru, in New Zealand, that will let you open an account without your signature. That's right, she went into a bank, opened a bank account without our signature. She also bought foreign exchange. The bank let her do it. Let her buy foreign exchange using trust money from our bank account. She signed cheques without our signature on them. She had no signing authority, but she still signed cheques. The banking ombudsman thought it was a joke. He did nothing about it. She sold insurance. She got an agency with an insurance company, and she sold insurance from our office and got insurance commissions and laundered the money through our bank accounts so she wouldn't have to pay tax on it. We told the Inland Revenue Department, they didn't want to know about it. She took money from our bank account without paying tax on it. We reported it to the police. Only thing I could do, report to the police. Guess what? The police didn't want to know. Because in New Zealand, the police have nothing to do with employment disputes. They've got an organisation in New Zealand called the Department of Labour. They have mediation meetings. And they get you in there. But little did I know when I went to a mediation meeting that my ex-employer and a lawyer could just get up and walk out. Because that's what they did. They just didn't like what I was saying, so they got up and walked out. And there's no minutes taken at a Labour Department mediation meeting. They don't take minutes. So you can't go back to find out what was said. The Employment Relations Authority Do you know they won't let you make counterclaims? You can't make a counterclaim with the Employment Relations Authority. And it takes them 4 months to make a decision. And they know that you have 28 days to file a challenge if you don't like the decision. And so they always date it at Christmas Day, round about Christmas time. So they know you won't be able to find a solicitor. I found a Christchurch barrister, but he didn't tell me he wasn't able to take instructions from me. He took instructions from me. He broke the rules. But the New Zealand Law Society, I complained to them, but they do nothing. They're hopeless. This woman had a law firm. And you know what they did? They filed charging orders that weren't even signed or dated, some of them. And they served documents by post. Nothing was served personally. They tried to sell our house. They told everybody we had a mental illness, that I had a mental illness. And they told a lady at the mental health department in the hospital board that I had a mental illness, and she rang my wife up and said, they're coming to sell your house tomorrow. They're coming to sell your house. "35 years ago, I had a mental breakdown. It was a breakdown as a result of that I accidentally shot my brother 20 years earlier, and I carried it around all my life. And I finally had a mental breakdown. Now, little did I know back then that 35 years later, a woman that I sacked would stand up in court and tell the employment court that I had a mental illness called bipolar disorder. And little did I know that because of that, she would win her court case and be paid $30,000 for doing it. That's wrong. Where in the world can you find a judge that would let somebody do that to another person, to another individual? Millions of people around the world have mental breakdowns. But where will you find a judge that'll let a person stand up in court and say, my former boss has a mental illness? It's wrong. It needs to stop. And it needs to stop now. And that's why I'm doing this video. Because it's wrong. Young people are going to suffer. And the government of New Zealand, there are two main governments, the Labour government, which introduced the stupid law in the first place, and the national government, who is too scared to change it because it's all about votes. Because they know that the majority of people in New Zealand are workers who are on this stupid law where they can sue the boss if they get the sack. It has to change. And I want people around the world to listen to me as I'm telling you on YouTube right now. Write to me, put a note on my blog here, and let me know what you think. What's the situation in your law, in your country? Is it as bad as it is in New Zealand? See you later.